Okay, we will reconvene the April 1st, 2025 regular council meeting at 10:03 a.m. on April 2nd, 2025. When we left recess the meeting last night, the next item on the agenda was committee reports. So I will start with Councillor Anaka. Anything to report?
Yeah. Monday I was at the ASHA conference in Edmonton. I attended energy efficiency meeting. It was basically by a here that does checks efficiency of buildings, whether you're retrofitting existing buildings or new ones. I guess there was a presentation from the manager at new lodge in Fort Saskatchewan, and they are almost at net zero. They've got solar panels on the building and carports, and they can apply for 3 levels of funding from FCM. That's the first time I ever heard anyone get money from FCM for a project. I'd like to say that these are cities. Jason Nixon, Minister of Seniors, Community and Social Services, did a presentation. Aging population in Alberta, all the services that are going to be needed going forward. And yesterday I didn't attend because of council meeting, and then it wraps up at noon today. Last night we had a seed plant board meeting. Anyway, I guess I'll just, from what I can remember, total clean this year is a little over 500,000 bushels. We're about 50,000 bushels ahead of where we were last year. Wheat cleaning bushel numbers are up, while oats and barley are down. We also discussed the maintenance that we have to do of the plant for the hoppers, gates and slides. And we are in the process of getting quotes for moving to automation for some of the legs and bins, and replacing the bin level sensors. Routine maintenance we're going to start on this summer, and then some of the price quotes for automation are going to be brought up at the fall AGM. And that's about it for my reports.
Councillor Wick.
I don't have anything today, just that myself along with council, we went to the RMA from the 16th to the 19th. But that was the only thing that was on the agenda this quarter.
You were on TV.
Yeah, we're on TV.
We were supposed to have on Monday our housing foundation meeting, but everybody's at the ASHA convention. Attended RMA. I was invited to purchase tickets to the fireside meeting. Sorry, I thought it was 2 minutes. The fireside meeting in Sherwood Park last Tuesday with the Premier Danielle Smith. There's 500 people. She was discussing with the tariffs and all that. The free trade agreements are pretty well out. According to the US with the tariffs, so there's going to be some changes. She's really pushing shop local. Local companies, Alberta first, is what she's trying to push. And other than that, nothing else.
Meetings Monday.
This Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deputy Reed, do you have any committee reports?
Yeah, I asked them to unmute.
No, I have nothing.
All right, thank you. Okay, a couple things for me to report on. Number one, I think I briefly maybe mentioned this at the March 28th council meeting, but got a better report here today. Did have our coffee talks in St. Michael on March 20th. Questions were asked regarding control of weeds on the CP rail right away. Apparently it's the province that has taken over that right away, and I believe we were going to be writing a letter to the province in regard to maintaining the weeds along that way. There was also some questions regarding the cleanup of our hamlets, basically derelict and vacated properties, grass not cut, buildings in disrepair. I think it's something that maybe we have to take a closer look at this upcoming summer. Not only relates to St. Michael, but it also relates to Wastook. Chipman Bridge repair, basically informed the residents that's Chipman's Bridge, and we heard from Chipman yesterday. Questions regarding fire building and response time. We confirmed that at the March 20, no, that wasn't done yet. Yes, we confirmed that there was a $10,000 temporary cap, and that we are going to have a workshop in Chipman to discuss the basically fire bylaw a little further at that time. Questions regarding culvert installation times and gravel stockpiling. I think we brought some of that to light at yesterday's council meeting. There is a concern regarding the increase in water rates. And I think a lot of that has to do to the increased rate from John Espachuk, but I think, Rodney, we decided we were gonna send something in the next utility bills.
We had just checked, I checked when we came back to the office, we had sent out information to them in January when the decision was made. We're also gonna send out, we're gonna resend that information again with the bills, just for that information.
Yeah, I wasn't aware, but apparently a water bill in St. Michael is $225 for 3 months, I believe. Which is relatively cheap, yeah. Questions regarding counselor transparency, that centered around staff being able to talk to counselors. And there's a question regarding a line for fire services, if we could install a line at St. Michael's so that at least the tender trucks could fill up with water at St. Michael if there is a fire in the area, instead of going back to Chipman or Andrew or wherever else they would have to go. So overall, I sort of kind of getting to like these coffee talks. I think issues are brought up which are apparently on the public's mind. The only thing we have to try and do is we have to address these issues, because if they keep coming up at every coffee talks, then obviously we're not addressing them. So we do have to address these, and you know, give, ratepayers an answer here. Just for council's information, Jay does post a summary under Lamont County's website, under council. There's a summary of all the coffee talks there. The other thing that happened is on March 23rd, the Alberta Industrial Heartland, went down with them to San Antonio. There was a, convention, and the Alberta Industrial Heartland hosted a reception on the 24th. The reception ran from basically 5 in the afternoon till 9 at night. Approximately 300 people attended, basically people from all sectors, chemicals, oil and gas. From the States, talked to people from Japan, Korea, Germany, one fellow from Turkey who basically is selling sulfur. I says we have some available in Strathcona here. He didn't think that the volume there would be sufficient to meet his requirements. Basically a good event. It's a long night where you're basically circulating amongst the crowd and promoting the heartland. So at the end of the day, I would rate the trip as a success. Kind of a quick trip. Arrived in San Antonio at midnight on Sunday. Had a reception Monday night and was back on an airplane at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. So no time for tourism on that trip. And that's basically my reports. Yeah, because Christiane has.
Yeah. So make a motion that the Lamont County Council accept Councilor Roy Anaka's report on the Alberta Senior Housing Conference. Seat cleaning board meeting. Councilor Neil Whitus reported on the fireside meeting. Premier Daniel Smith with Premier Daniel Smith. A trip to the Alberta Industrial Heartland Association to San Antonio, USA as information.
Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Dan?
Yes.
Carried. Move on to item number 11, correspondence. Peter?
Mr. Reed, the correspondence starts on page 159. On page 159, we have a document that came from the province with regards to summary on recent changes to police legislation. I will note that this applies to municipalities that are subject to a provincial policing agreement. That is communities with populations exceeding 5,000. This does not directly apply to us. However, I thought I would provide it simply as information. The next item is on page 169. Now this speaks to how the portion of Alberta education operators funded through property taxes, not by municipal taxes, but called the property tax bill, has decreased from 33% to 30%, which means the province needs to increase the draw that they are asking us to, or the amount that they're asking us to collect through property taxes. And you will see on page 133, numbers are obliterated about a third of the way down the page. In 2024, education taxes on a residential farm. Well, let's just go to the total number. Went from 3.322 million. 2025 will be 3.685 million, so there's about an 11% increase, about $300,000 in the total education requisition.
What page did you see that on? Sorry.
173.
Numbers are. We go alphabetically and find. On page 180, item 11.3, is a document that speaks to some highlights in terms of the Alberta government's commitment to investing in roads, bridges, water infrastructure. On that second paragraph on page 180, you'll see budget 2025 would invest another $8.5 billion. The ministry, or will invest more than, not another, more than $8.5 billion for the Ministry of Transportation Economic Corridors. The 3-year capital plan has a $333.7 million increase over budget 2024. That includes more than $4 billion over 3 years for transportation infrastructure. Significant amount of that goes to Edmonton and Calgary. However, the benefit to rural employees will be $2.1 billion. On the bottom of page 181 in that last paragraph, you'll also see that there's $126.8 million over 3 years to the Strategic Transportation Infrastructure Program. That's the STIP program. And on the bottom of page 182, there is a reference in the central region to $98 million for the Bigfoot Bridge replacement on Highway 38 near Redwater as part of the work to enhance the high-low corridor. On page 185, this is just an information piece from our inspections supplier, the inspections group. They are collaborating with First Nations. There is no impact on Lamont County. We have an early invitation from Bruderheim, sponsored by Fortis and Wolf for the second annual Deutschland Days, which is on October 18th. So if memory serves, that's a couple of days before next election. Then we have on page 187 a notification, should you be interested, of the Sturgeon County Mayor's Tournament on June 19th. On page 188, there is a notification which each of you already has in your electronic calendar about the Life in the Heartland event. There's an opportunity for industry to report to the community, to chat with industry as well as to chat with residents in the area. Excuse me. On page 189, we have an opportunity, should also be interested, to place a plaque somewhere along the North Saskatchewan River. This has to do with it being designated last year as a Canadian Heritage River. Council took a passive role in providing support for that. And there are quite a number of pages on that one. It goes all the way through to page. I should have an agenda out. It goes all the way to page 210. And then, of course, there was the items that was added yesterday, which was a notification from the province with regards to the fire services training program, which the province provides. It's a $500,000 grant pool, which is shared amongst eligible fire departments. The pool has increased by $1 million for the 2024 to 25 fiscal year. Additional grant agreements will be sent separately to CAO. Lamont County was approved for a grant of $19,180 to carry out training as outlined in the conditional grant agreement that will come.
All right. regarding the Sturgeon County Golf Tournament, if anyone's interested, please advise Christiane, and she probably pretty well registered. The same with Life in the Heartland. I believe that one is going to be in Fort Saskatchewan. Yeah, at Community Hall in Fort Saskatchewan. Pretty good events. Basically of industry. There's 3 companies from industry that make presentations and stuff. But if you're interested in attending, here again, let Christiane know. In regards to the North Saskatchewan watershed, are we interested in putting up a plaque?
Also, didn't say anything.
Well, I guess we could direct administration, because it says here that Smoky Lake put up a plaque on their side, I believe. But there is a couple plaques in right on where the grand opening event. There's a picture of them. I'm not too sure what they would be expecting, or whether we would just kind of do our own thing.
It does not seem to suggest that the plaque needs to be at the, what's it called, that location.
Maybe crossing.
Maybe crossing does not need to be there.
Maybe they could just license their.
I don't know that we have a location.
Well, there is.
Yeah, we're putting our pump house.
So there's not really a public access location, though, unless we're the,
Well, that will still be there to the boat launch.
the boat launch might be an option.
There's also a path down 855 where people go down to go fishing. They park their vehicles on top and they walk down to the river bottom to go fishing, so there's possibilities. Go ahead, Dan.
Does it have to be put? Yeah, does it have to be put on the Meaty side, or can we put it on our side?
No, I think we would put it on our site.
What black say, like, what are you? What the advertising, what they're doing?
Of the ones that were unveiled that one.
That one they.
We could probably just do one in English.
Yeah.
There's one here in English and French, and I believe it's the
Something else, yeah.
okay, so if we can direct administration to investigate this matter further and come back with costs and suggestions. So the motion could read directing administration to create a plaque recognizing the North Saskatchewan River as a Canadian Heritage River.
Were you not wanting us to explore what the cost?
Yeah, well, we gotta get the cost before we do anything. Bring the cost back to us and then we'll know.
I was just saying, you gotta know what you're gonna be doing in order to get a cost straight. But we can get the cost to come back.
Well, I seen what they did. Oops.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, I seen what they did on the other side. A lot of them are in that bronze black So I don't know how elaborate we want to go with it. But I guess administration could bring something back to us.
If it isn't somewhere where there's public, if we have it just on a trail or something, I don't think it's gonna be there very
Right.
long. So it'll be, they're cutting them out in the city of Edmonton where there's people, the bronze, so.
Yeah, the trend now is to not make them out of, semi-precious metal.
Okay,
Does this work for you? Mhm.
Councillor Mackey, can you read that?
Make it a little bigger. Whoever puts an egg in there.
Or we can defer to Councillor Wick, he seems to have the best eyesight of all of us.
It's not.
Go ahead.
Make a motion that Lamont County Council direct administration to contact the North Saskatchewan Watershed Alliance in regards to costs of installing a plaque along the North Saskatchewan River.
Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? And
Did you get that? This is crazy.
just say yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, and I will make a motion that Lamont County Council will accept the balance of the April 1st, 2025 correspondence as information. Questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's carried.
Yes.
Thank you. And we'll now move on to item number 12. Events meetings calendar.
Just contacting Sarah to come on. There used to be, calendar is on page 211, memory serves. And it highlights, for the most part, public events, including a night service board meeting on the 9th. The, Life in the Heartland open house that was referenced in correspondence. A number of volunteer appreciation evenings on the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th in Lamont, Bruderheim, Andrew, and Madera, respectively. Of course, we have 2 more regular meetings of council this month, on the 15th and the 29th. And there is a coffee talks, for sort of an active vision. Or is it on, at the Andrew Lyons Club on the 22nd, and if memory serves, that is a daytime meeting.
And when is your coffee talks? Did we not move it up to April?
Mine is for, just wait. Am I muted, still muted or unmuted?
No,
Up
you're
to
on
top.
the
Okay. Yeah, no, mine is for the 30th of April. And it's the evening one, 6 till 8.
Where's the location, Dan?
It's at the drop-in center in Mandera. Yeah, because we moved it up June was too late.
And of course, Mr. Reed,
It's
at,
9:30,
10 a.m. start for yours, 9:30 in the calendar for us.
oh, okay, 10 o'clock start.
Yes.
That's okay.
and of course, Mr. Reed, it's, Easter this month, so the county offices will be closed on both the 18th, Good Friday, and on the 25th, Easter Monday. And we are taking suitable effort to, ensure residents are aware.
Okay, there's a coffee talks in, Andrew Berterheim and Darren Lamont, so if you could at least attend one of them. Probably appreciated by
Coffee
your
talks or appreciation.
appreciation, sorry, appreciation. And if you need, I think Sarah could probably provide you with some tickets. Last I heard, enrollment is still pretty low, but there's still a couple weeks to go here. Okay, any other questions? Need a motion to accept the calendar as information?
I move that Lamont County Council accept April 2025 council calendar as information.
Questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion is carried. Okay, that gets us through the open session. I'll now make a motion that Lamont County Council move the April 1st, 2025 regular council meeting into a closed session at 10:35 a.m. to discuss the following items. 13.1 Centennial Scholarship Policy, Voice Act, Section 24.1A, Process Water Line, Owners Representative, Voice Act, Section 16.1, and 13.4 Tax Rate Direction, Voice Act 24.1A. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Dan. That motion is carried.